You probably don't know it, but your brand new SUV is secretly on a countdown to the junkyard, 100,000 miles and poof. Unless you ditch 10 boneheaded habits every driver does without thinking. Stick to the end to avoid losing all your money on repairs you could have simply avoided. 10. Skipping the severe duty oil schedule. Today's turbocharged small block 6s spin turbines at 200,000 RPM and inject fuel directly into cylinders hotter than a pizza oven. Let oil shear past its 5 to 7K window and varnish clogs the pencil-thin turbo feed line, starving bearings, spiking heat, and snowballing into a $3,200 snail replacement. Pull the dipstick after 4,000 miles and that honey has already turned dark roast. Internal combustion hasn't cared for the marketing term lifetime. Full synthetic that meets your spec costs $55 at a warehouse store, cheaper than one wrecker ride. Swap the filter every time, paper tears after 5,000, and log the date in your phone's calendar instead of trusting the fuzzy oil life algorithm. 9. Redlining a cold engine. A parking lot hole shot before temperature needles budge is the mechanical equivalent of sprinting barefoot on ice. Pistons heat and expand slower than cylinder walls. Cold Zero W20 still moves like maple syrup, scraping microscopic aluminum from skirt coatings. Give modern drivetrains a few easy minutes, cap revs under 2,000, and you'll save your SUV's life. Literally. A gentle start lowers raw fuel washdown that contaminates catalytic converters. 1,800 apiece on some SUVs. Think of it as a warm-up lap for metal. 8. Roof cargo that never comes off. While you buy an SUV for more trunk space, some owners bolt on an empty cargo pod and forget it for 4 seasons. That doesn't only add additional weight, but also hurts aerodynamics, which slices highway MPG by 2 to 3, forcing the engine to spin harder, burn richer, and ladle extra heat into transmission coolers. Center of gravity rises, so cornering loads chew through outer shoulder tread and rear shock bushings. An afternoon with an Allen key and $9 wall hooks reclaims fuel and saves a set of $1,200 performance tires every 30,000. Your roof isn't a walk-in closet. Treat it like a pop-up tent, up only when you're camping. 7. Left foot braking down every hill. There is almost no situation where you should brake with your left foot, especially on modern SUVs. Hovering over the brake pedal hill after hill bakes rotors to 800 degrees Fahrenheit. Heat radiates into wheel bearings, liquefies axle grease, and cooks CV boot rubber until it cracks and flings grease like confetti, which results with clicking joints at 40,000. Use manual mode or paddles, drop 2 gears, let engine compression hold speed, and tap brakes in short bursts. Brake fluid ages too. Hygroscopic .4 boils at 446 degrees Fahrenheit when new but only 300 after 2 years of water absorption. Flush on, even years. Your master cylinder will thank you by not squishing into the firewall on the next downhill hairpin. 6. Forgetting differential and transfer case fluid. All-wheel drive diffs juggle torque 100 times per second, shearing additive packs that cushion gear teeth. Ignore the 30,000 severe duty interval, and the first warning you'll hear is a howl, right before $2,800 worth of ring and pinion grenades itself. Check the drain plug magnet at every oil change. A gray fuzz halo is normal. Chunky glitter is overdue. A $60 synthetic gear oil swap takes 20 minutes, a flat driveway, and 1 hand pump. Compare that with a Riemann rear diff that costs more than your family vacation. 5. Running cheap gas in a premium fuel engine. Your owner's manual asks for 93 octane, yet that glowing, regular unleaded $3.29 sign keeps luring you in. Here's why those savings backfire. A modern Turbo 4 makes boost like a small leaf blower, about 18 psi on factory tune. It depends on high-octane fuel to resist knock, the tiny hammering explosions that happen when gas ignites before the spark plug says so. Pour in 87 and the knock sensor panics, yanks timing, and the mixture burns slower. Slower equals hotter and dirtier. The catalytic converter cooks cherry red. The turbo's exhaust housing heat soaks, and microscopic ringlet edges on the pistons can literally weld to the cylinder walls. One melted cat costs north of $1,500. An engine with stuck rings is a whole vacation fund. Now the math, upgrading from 87 to 93 adds maybe 25 cents a gallon. On a 15-gallon fill-up, that's $4, under $150 a year for most drivers. Less than a coffee a week. Tow a trailer, climb mountain passes, or keep a roof box up top. Go ahead and bump another grade because Detonation doesn't care about your budgeting app. Pay the premium at the pump, save a fortune under the hood, and keep that turbo happily spooling for years. 4. Short trip syndrome. Morning coffee runs under 5 miles never vaporize condensation. Those 2-mile coffee runs aren't doing the engine any favors. The metal never gets fully up to temperature, so the normal little puffs of water that happen during combustion have nowhere to go. They slide down the cylinder walls, drip into the oil, and team up with fuel residue to make a mild acid bath. Over time, that soup eats bearings, corrodes exhaust pipes, and turns perfectly good mufflers into rusty maracas because of morning matches. The fix isn't complicated or expensive. Once a week, give the car a proper stretch. 20 minutes on the highway, an errand loop, a Sunday cruise, whatever fits. Lets the oil climb past the boiling point of water. The moisture steams away, the catalytic converter gets a nice cleanse, and the alternator tops up the battery instead of nibbling at it. You'll double battery life and keep the internal bits shiny without spending a dime on parts. Your latte stays hot and your engine stays happy. Win-win every single weekend trip. 3. Off-roading on street tire pressures. Factory all seasons at 35 psi act like bowling balls on washboards. Sidewalls pinch, tread can't mold the rocks, and traction control drags, brakes until transfer case clutches sizzle. Bent rims and shredded bead seats follow. Meanwhile, traction control senses chaos, clamps the brakes, and cooks your transfer case clutches until the cabin smells like burnt popcorn. Keep it up and you're shopping for $4,000 worth of gears and wheels before you've even found a scenic overlook. Fix is dirt cheap trail magic. Air down to 18 to 22 psi before leaving pavement. Softer sidewalls balloon, letting tread flex around rocks for grip while absorbing chop like marshmallows on a pogo stick. Engage low range early so torque arrives lazy and cool. Toss a $75 12-volt compressor in the cargo bin. 5 minutes of refill at the trailhead brings you safely back to highway spec without that awful flop, flop, flop sound. Bottom line, $9 of air management beats $9 grand of drivetrain surgery. Deflate smart, explore far, and save the high pressure for your basketball, not your adventure wagon's rubber boots. 2. Ignoring dashboard warning lights and recall notices. That little orange engine icon isn't part of the Christmas decorations, but your SUV begging to be saved on time. Sure, sometimes it's just a loose gas cap, but let it glow long enough and gasoline vapor eats the purge valve. Vacuum leaks lean out the mix, and suddenly pistons are hotter than a habanero pizza. One minor evap code can snowball into a melted catalytic converter, misfires, and a tow truck selfie you never wanted. Recalls are even better. They're free. Automakers beg dealers to fix them, shipping parts on the house and paying labor by the hour. All you have to do is type your VIN into nhtsa.gov and hit subscribe. You'll get an email whenever a new bulletin drops, airbags that might karate chop you, fuel pumps that moonlight as confetti cannons, whatever. Call the service desk, book a slot within 30 days, and boom. Factory fresh update, $0. A 5-minute scan or free dealer visit beats funding a full engine barbecue every single time. Listen to the lights and your odometer might just reach Grand Tour status someday. 1. Bargain bin filters and fluids. Bargain bin oil change coupons look like found money until your engine starts making change on the driveway. Those $19.99 super lube joints stuff in filters made of recycled egg cartons. The paper pleats tear, the bypass valve sticks, and unstrained sludge roams your crankcase like gremlins on spring break. Meanwhile, a jug of one-size-fits-everyone goo, meant for lawnmowers, snowmobiles, who knows, thins out under turbo heat and turns your bearings into non-fungible metal flakes. Congratulations, that $20 saving just financed a $6,000 block-splitting rod throw. Solution: act like your heart surgeon, not a bargain mechanic. Insist on OEM or a name brand filter with a micron rating your owner's manual would swipe right on. Check the bottle label for the exact spec code, Dixos MS9602 ATF+4, whatever alphabet soup your machine drinks. Got a torque wrench? Spend 30 minutes DIY, hand torque the drain plug, and pocket bragging rights along with true savings. Remember, your SUV's entire future hangs on a $7 cylinder of folded paper. Skimp there, and you're basically replacing the pacemaker battery with a button cell from a novelty singing card. Don't gamble, Your wallet, your engine bay, and every upcoming road trip will breathe easier for that tiny upgrade alone. Spot a bad habit we missed? Drop it in the comments, you'll maybe save someone's engine. Thanks for watching, and be sure to click on the video on your screen for more amazing content.